welcome to the channel. Today we're decoding a subtle yet powerful behavior when a woman sits closer during a conversation. Is it comfort or something more? Let's explore the psychology, signals, and science behind this fascinating question. Diving into the topic. Human behavior is full of silent signals. One of the most intriguing is when someone reduces physical space between you and them. Today we'll explore what it truly means when a woman sits closer while talking. Is it comfort or a desire to get closer? Segment 1. What closeness in body language represents. When someone moves physically closer during a conversation, it can signal connection, trust, or emotional comfort. In women, this gesture is often layered with meaning. Closeness may arise from a place of openness or mutual rapport. She could be comfortable and trusting your presence, but if this behavior is paired with other flirtatious signals, like smiling, playing with her hair, or holding prolonged eye contact, it could imply something more. Understanding this begins with recognizing the difference between casual comfort and intentional emotional cues. Proximity is often the first clue. If she's gradually reducing the distance and doing so consistently, there's a good chance she's signaling a deeper level of interest. Still, context matters. Is it a friendly group chat or a private, one-on-one setting? How she behaves with others will give you a lot of insight into whether this is unique to your interaction. Segment 2. Social comfort versus romantic interest. Comfort and attraction can look similar on the surface, but the distinction lies in subtle details. A woman who is socially comfortable might lean in, speak casually, and maintain a relaxed posture. This is often her default mode with people she feels safe around. However, romantic interest brings layered behaviors. She may play with her jewelry, maintain eye contact longer than usual, or even mirror your body language. The proximity becomes intentional rather than situational. The key is to observe consistency. Does she lean in more when the topic turns personal? Does her tone soften? Romantic signals are often subconscious, but they stand out when viewed alongside verbal cues and emotional openness. Watch how she positions herself. If she faces you directly and continues moving closer, she might not just be comfortable, she might be trying to connect on a deeper level. Segment 3. Psychological signals of trust. Trust is foundational to all relationships, and proximity often reflects that. When a woman sits closer, she may be expressing a sense of emotional security. Psychologists note that humans naturally reduce physical distance when they feel safe. For women especially, sitting closer can indicate that she doesn't feel threatened or judged in your presence. However, it's important to understand that trust and attraction are not mutually exclusive. They can coexist. The difference lies in intensity and consistency. If she shares personal stories, shows vulnerability, and engages deeply while seated near you, she's signaling emotional trust. Combine that with physical cues like lingering touches or an open body posture, and you're potentially observing early signs of attraction. Recognizing trust-based behavior helps you respond with empathy and respect, which can in turn foster deeper connection. Segment 4. The importance of eye contact. When a woman sits closer and holds eye contact, it amplifies the emotional connection. Eye contact alone is a strong signal. It reflects confidence, attention, and openness. But pair that with physical proximity, and it becomes a multisensory cue. She's not just engaging with your words, she's tuning into you. Prolonged eye contact suggests she's interested in what you're saying, and possibly in you. Look for soft, lingering glances and occasional smiles. These are positive indicators that her closeness is intentional and emotionally charged. On the flip side, if her eyes dart around or avoid yours while she's physically near, she may be distracted or nervous. When eye contact and physical closeness align, it's often a strong indicator of emotional or romantic interest. Don't rush to conclusions, but take note. This combination carries weight. Segment 5. Physical touch, accidental or intentional. Physical touch is one of the clearest nonverbal signals we use to express comfort and interest. If a woman brushes your arm while sitting close or places her hand lightly on your shoulder during a conversation, pay attention to whether it happens more than once. Accidental touches are brief, followed by a quick pullback or apology. Intentional ones linger slightly and are often paired with direct eye contact or a smile. If she initiates casual contact repeatedly while seated closely, there's a strong possibility it's not just platonic. Our bodies often speak louder than words. If her gestures feel natural and repeated within a short time frame, she could be signaling attraction. Just remember to respect boundaries and never assume intentions. Read the full context before reacting. Segment 6. Her body positioning. How she positions her body while sitting close is a major clue. If her knees, shoulders, or torso are facing you, it shows openness and engagement. Closed-off body language, like crossing arms or turning slightly away, may suggest disinterest or discomfort. Pay attention to the angle of her posture. Is she leaning in when you speak? Is she mirroring your movements? All of these subtle signs can help decode her emotional state. Facing someone directly, especially when combined with proximity, often reflects a desire for connection. It signals that she's emotionally present and interested in what you're saying. This kind of positioning usually occurs naturally, not deliberately. That's why it's a reliable indicator of her level of comfort or interest. If her feet are pointed toward you, even better, it's a subconscious cue of engagement. Segment 7. Is she like this with everyone? Understanding a woman's usual behavior with others is crucial. Some people are naturally expressive, warm, and tend to sit closer in all social settings. If she maintains the same level of proximity with friends, co-workers, or even strangers, it may simply be her communication style. But if you notice she behaves differently around you, sits closer, initiates more physical contact, or holds your gaze longer, it could indicate something more personal. Compare her interactions. Is her closeness consistent or selective? Unique behaviors toward you are more telling than any single gesture. If you're unsure, observe her in group settings. Is she equally physically close with others? Or does she seek out proximity specifically when talking to you? Patterns reveal intention, so watch for the exceptions. Segment 8. Context matters. Physical closeness can sometimes be driven by environment. In noisy places like crowded cafes or public transport, reducing the distance can simply be practical. Don't mistake necessity for desire. The key is to analyze whether she stays close when space becomes available. Does she move away once the noise dies down or chairs open up? Or does she remain seated near you, seemingly unaware of the available space? That lingering presence may signal genuine comfort or interest. Context also includes the time and topic of your conversation. If you're sharing something meaningful and she leans in without external prompts, that's more likely emotional engagement than situational proximity. Always consider the surroundings before jumping to conclusions. Segment 9. Prolonged closeness. Short bursts of closeness might be circumstantial. But when a woman consistently chooses to sit or stay close, especially over extended periods, it's worth noting. Is she choosing to stay near you even when she could have shifted away? Does she naturally return to the same spot after a break? These signs suggest more than just comfort. She could be subconsciously or intentionally seeking emotional or physical proximity. It's important to consider what else is happening: conversation depth, her tone of voice, and whether there's touch or mutual mirroring involved. Long periods of close presence often signal emotional safety or romantic openness. When she stays close, take it as a sign she values that closeness and maybe wants to deepen the connection. Segment 10. Verbal cues that match her actions. Nonverbal behavior becomes clearer when matched with verbal clues. Is she sitting close and also asking you personal questions? Is she laughing, teasing, or sharing vulnerable experiences? When a woman's words align with her physical presence, it suggests emotional alignment. For example, if she's seated close while opening up about her life, goals, or past experiences, it reflects trust and connection. It's not just about what's said, but how it's said. Soft tone, expressive storytelling, and enthusiastic responses all add layers to her physical closeness. This combination of verbal and nonverbal cues offers the most accurate reading of her intentions. Observe the whole picture, not just her distance. Segment 11. Signs of nervous attraction. Sometimes, sitting closer is a sign of nervous attraction rather than just casual comfort. If a woman seems fidgety, plays with her hair, taps her fingers, or adjusts her clothes while leaning closer, these could be signs of subtle anxiety caused by attraction. She may also blush, smile shyly, or look away quickly after eye contact. These behaviors, when paired with her reducing the physical distance between you, can be powerful indicators that she feels something more but isn't entirely sure how to express it. Nervousness often amplifies when emotional stakes are high. So, instead of dismissing these behaviors as restlessness, look at them as possible signs of emerging romantic interest. Your calm and grounded response to her nervous energy can help create a space where her feelings continue to grow. Segment 12. Matching and mirroring behavior. Mirroring is a subtle yet powerful body language cue that often happens unconsciously. When someone mimics your posture, speech pace, or gestures, it usually signals a deepening sense of rapport. If she sits closer and also mirrors how you sit or move, crossing her legs when you do, matching your leaning posture, or using similar phrases, It shows she's tuned into you emotionally. Mirroring reinforces connection, trust, and often attraction. This behavior stems from the brain's mirror neurons, which help us build empathy and understanding. So when a woman draws closer and mirrors you simultaneously, she's likely feeling connected and safe. Keep in mind, mirroring alone doesn't always imply romantic intent, but when it accompanies closeness, personal questions, and sustained interaction, it paints a more compelling picture of her growing interest. Segment 13. The role of tone and voice. A woman's voice can reveal much about her feelings. If she lowers her tone or softens her speech when sitting closer, that's often an indicator of intimacy or emotional openness. When people feel connected, they naturally adjust their vocal tone to reflect the mood: slower pace, warmer inflection, and a gentle volume. She might laugh more easily, use teasing or playful phrases, or speak more slowly when the moment becomes more personal. These shifts are not random. They often accompany growing interest or emotional alignment. If she leans in and her voice changes noticeably, becoming more emotionally expressive, vulnerable, or gentle, it shows she's connecting with you on a more personal level. Listen closely, because sometimes her tone will say more than her words ever could. Segment 14. Closeness over time. One of the best indicators of genuine interest is how her closeness changes over time. If, during earlier conversations, she kept a respectful distance but has gradually started sitting closer, that's a meaningful progression. It shows growing comfort, trust, and possibly romantic curiosity. People don't reduce personal space with those they dislike or distrust. So if her body language evolves from guarded to open, and from distant to close, she's likely becoming more emotionally invested. Track the timeline. Did it shift gradually or suddenly? A gradual shift often means she's allowing herself to feel safer and more open, while sudden proximity might be a sign of flirtation or even impulsive attraction. Long-term closeness reflects depth. Either way, if she's getting physically closer over time, take it seriously, it's not accidental. Segment 15. Her reaction when you move closer. Want to decode her intentions further? Try gently reducing your own distance and watch how she responds. If you move closer and she stays relaxed, mirrors the move, or even leans in further, that's a green light. But if she tenses, shifts away, or reestablishes space, she may not be comfortable with deeper physical closeness. This doesn't necessarily mean rejection. It might just mean the pace is too fast or the context isn't right. Pay close attention to her response, not just the initial action. Mutual comfort is a two-way signal. When closeness is reciprocal, it indicates shared emotional openness. Always move at a respectful pace and ensure your intentions align with her reactions. Her willingness to match your proximity often reveals how connected she truly feels. Segment 16. Situational proximity versus intentional proximity. Understanding intent behind physical closeness means evaluating whether it's situational or deliberate. For example, she may sit closer simply because the space is tight or there's background noise. But if the room is spacious and she still chooses to sit close, even bypassing other open seats, that's intentional. Context is key. Observe whether she stays close once the situational need is gone. Intentional proximity often feels more deliberate, personal, and emotionally engaging. If her closeness happens in tandem with eye contact, playful conversation, or deeper emotional topics, it's even more telling. Situational closeness ends when the situation changes, but intentional closeness lingers. That's how you know it's about you, not just the environment. Segment 17. Mixed signals and confusion. Not all signals are straightforward. Sometimes a woman may sit closer but then show signs of distance, like crossing her arms, avoiding eye contact, or giving short replies. This mixed behavior could indicate inner conflict. She may like you but is unsure about how to express it, or she could be sending signals unintentionally. These are often the toughest situations to read. When signals are conflicting, take a step back emotionally and observe more over time. Patterns always reveal truth. Is she warm one day and distant the next? Does she seem emotionally guarded even when physically close? Mixed signals require patience and empathy. Avoid jumping to conclusions. Give her the emotional space to clarify her own feelings. Respect her pace while staying emotionally present. Segment 18. Cultural and personal boundaries. Not all closeness is romantic. In many cultures, physical proximity is a normal part of social interaction. Mediterranean, Latin, or South Asian cultures often encourage close communication as a sign of warmth, not flirtation. Also, some women are naturally expressive or affectionate regardless of intent. That's why it's essential to consider both cultural norms and personal boundaries. What's normal for her might feel intimate to you. Always assess her general behavior with others before assuming her closeness is unique. If she behaves this way broadly, it's probably not romantic. But if she reserves that closeness for you, it may carry emotional or romantic meaning. Understanding her cultural background and communication style will give you a much clearer picture. Segment 19. Testing comfort zones. Sometimes when a woman sits closer, she's testing your energy. She may be gauging how you handle proximity, if you'll respect her space, or how confidently you respond. This test is often subtle. If you stay calm, maintain gentle eye contact, and engage naturally without leaning in too aggressively, you show maturity and emotional awareness. If you react with discomfort or arrogance, it could push her away. Women often assess a man's emotional intelligence through body language interactions. So when she leans in, even casually, treat it as an opportunity to prove you're respectful, self-assured, and emotionally grounded. Passing that unspoken test could lead to more meaningful closeness down the road. Segment 20. Emotional safety and bonding. At the core of any meaningful closeness is emotional safety. When a woman chooses to sit closer, she may be expressing that she feels seen, respected, and emotionally secure around you. Emotional safety is the foundation of both strong friendships and lasting romantic connections. Her proximity might be a subtle thank you for the way you listen, validate her experiences, or make her laugh. She's not just near you physically, she's opening the door to trust and emotional connection. In many ways, that's more powerful than overt flirting. Never underestimate what emotional closeness means. If she's consistently drawing near, it's likely because being close to you feels right. Conclusion. As we've seen throughout this video, when a woman sits closer during a conversation, it can signal comfort, trust, emotional safety, or even romantic interest. The key lies in observing the context, patterns, and accompanying behaviors. No single gesture tells the whole story, but together they reveal a lot. If she consistently chooses proximity, mirrors your actions, changes her tone, and responds positively to closeness, those are meaningful cues. But always remember, respect and patience are your best tools. Pay attention, listen deeply, and let connection grow naturally. Genuine interest thrives in spaces where both people feel seen, safe, and understood. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, hit the like button, subscribe, and share with someone who'd enjoy decoding body language too. Drop your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear your take. See you in the next video.